Hi, it's Pete Cann, the Laughter Man, and today we've got Heidi Feldborg in with thee as the guest today on Laughter and Positivity with Pete. Now, Heidi's been part of the Laughter Club for a good sort of 5 or 6 months now, and we've had so much fun when we laugh with each other on Zoom. So having Zoom laughter, laughter yoga is just a great way of just connecting at a deeper level, but also B, a really good way of just releasing endorphins and feeling good about yourself. So if you want to find out more about my Laughter Club, then let a little comment in below. Put a little comment below, and I will let you know more about the Laughter Club, because it happens on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, as well as on a weekly every Wednesday evening. So if you want to know more about it, then like I say, put a comment in the below. I don't even know how to say this now. So anyway, this is an interview with Heidi. I hope you really enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I don't know where they are. They're there somewhere. And so you'll get a nice alert when you've got to press that little bell. Press that little bell icon if you want an alert when the next video comes out. So anyway, enjoy the interview, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Hey guys, so I'm very happy to have the lovely Heidi with me all the way from Denmark today. And Heidi's a laughter yoga teacher from Denmark who help you raise your inner joy, energy, and laugh freely from your heart. And I've known Heidi for, it must be over 6 months now, I would have thought, from the Daily Giggle channel. And just obviously, Heidi, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh wow. So I'm gonna do sort of the laughter story. So I'm 49. Can we say that? So I'm still 49 just, and so that's cool. And I'm from Denmark. But I lived many years in the UK. I was married to an Englishman. And I never thought I would return back to Denmark, but I did. And that's really how my laughter story really started. So if I should tell a story now, I'll do that, how I got into laughter, because I was one of these people who would travel up the M3, M25 every day, wearing a corporate suit and all that bit, working in London with corporate clients. And I did that for many years, and too many years, and then all of a sudden I got quite frankly stuck on that hamster wheel, really stuck. And I was also a first-time mum to my lovely Ellen, and I just couldn't get off that hamster wheel, because you kind of get stuck with house and cars and financial security and all those kind of bits. And so I found myself getting more and more stressed, really, and I didn't want to own up to it. I really didn't. So, and then I don't know how it happened, but I think it must have been November 2011. Yes, I'm gonna think. Yeah, November 2011. I think I was kind of, I don't know, I was feeling really kind of distressed and everything, and I just Googled. I don't know what, I don't know whether I Googled stress or laughter. I probably Googled laughter, something for some reason. And then laughter yoga came up. And it was like, and I just read, and it kind of said, and I clicked in, and it said, oh, well, it can be helpful for people with stress and all these kind of things. And I just I instinctively knew, I want that. I was like, I want that. And I said to my husband, all I want for Christmas is this laughter yoga leader course, a 2-day course. I'd never ever tried it before in my life, because I was a very corporate person and all those kind of things. And I think it said that, when have you last laughed? And that got me thinking, because I kind of thought, I can't remember the last time I really laughed. And that's really sad. And so, of course, I got the course for Christmas. So off I went on the 28th of January. I went 2012 on my 2-day course, and it was really out of my comfort zone, because I was corporate. and lying on the floor, you know, giggling with all these other really people that was like, you know, psychologists, nannies, all people from all walks of life, and corporate Heidi. And I'll tell you what, after the 2 days, I drove home Sunday 5 o'clock, and the whole way home, because it took like an hour and a half to get home, I was just like that the whole way. And I still have the feeling, I still have the picture. I walked in the door at home, and my husband and daughter, and she was what at the time? She must have been 8, 9, 10, not well, 8, 9. And they just looked at me like, what are you on? And they both said, you got to do more of that, Mom. You got to do more of that. And you just know. And that's how it started. And then it's been like ups and down, really. And I started a laughter club because I was so excited. So I went up to the local day center, and I said to them, here's my certificate, and I just want to start doing some laughter. This was a day center for the elderly. And I then, at that time, I had reduced down to 4 days a week working. So I thought, well, on Friday I can come, and they were like, well, you know, we'll do a swap. So you can have the room for free, and have some people coming in from the outside. And then you reciprocate by doing some laughter with the elderly. And I did that for, I don't know, 3 years or 4 years, or 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Was that on a weekly basis?
Yeah, every Friday at 10 o'clock.
Nice.
And so that was brilliant. And they even did all the canvassing for me and all that, because they was part of the well-being center. So underage concerns. So they did leafleting and all that as well. And that was brilliant. You know, it was so, and I said, and the reason why, you know, I just sat there and I just went, this is really good. And I just felt the joy. And she could just feel it. And she said, you know what, we're going to do this because this just sounds amazing.
Yeah. So can I just rewind slightly then?
Yeah.
So corporate then, you were doing 5 days a week, you were going up and down the M3, M25, you were burning out by the sounds of it. And then you obviously discovered laughter. You went, what, this is, I'm going to do this. Went to the course, and then said to your corporate company that you were working for at the time, like, right, I want to do 4 days a week. And did you tell them you wanted the day to do laughter?
No, I didn't. I mean, seriously. I mean, no, I didn't.
So did you? So what? How did you approach?
That was my private thing.
Yeah. So how did you approach that then? With the I mean, did you just say I need an extra day off because?
No, I just said, you know, because I had quite a longer commute, and they knew that, and they had just granted 1 or 2 other people in work. They just granted them working part time, so then they couldn't really refuse. Because already somebody else was granted it. So that was that. Yeah.
So, and then did they ever find out that you were doing laughter?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They did, because then I think it was a year and a half later, you know, because, you know, in the laughter fraternity, you get to know people. And there was an opportunity that came out from the lady, Lotte, that I taught with from United Mind. And she had an opportunity to go on ITV with, I can't remember his name now, one of these gardener things, whatever, he's not very
Titmarsh. Alan Titmarsh. Yeah.
So we went on Titmarsh show. Oh my God, don't get me started on that. But I mean, so then I obviously had to get the day off, because that was on a Wednesday and I was working on a Wednesday. So I had to kind of own up. But they said, you know what, Heidi, that's a great opportunity. So of course you can have the day off. So that's okay. That's cool. And I'll tell you what, since then, laughter has come on so much in the UK. I mean, it's unbelievable. I could really kick myself that I had to go back in one sense, because now it's really kicking off big time in UK, and I can understand that.
Yeah. So with I'm going to keep tapping into the corporate, because that's your story, that's your backstory. So did they notice So you were laughing weekly, every Friday you were laughing. Okay. Were you laughing during the day and the week as well? Were you doing like the
No,
breakfast?
because
No.
then I think we need to, if we get into the whole bit around when it works, you know, when you really want to change things. Because what would happen is it would, you know, start Sunday afternoon. You get that dreaded feeling in your stomach, and then the whole thing starts, and it goes. And by the time it was Thursday, and I would come home from work, I would be like a shell of myself. I really would. And what I did feel like, I would go to do my laughter, the two sessions on a Friday. And when I finished that at lunchtime, I would feel myself. So then I had Friday, the half day of the Friday left, Saturday, half of Sunday, and then the whole thing would start again. So that is not sustainable. It really isn't. So at that time, it hadn't really clocked. It hadn't, you know, I did laugh a little bit in the car and stuff a little bit, but I hadn't really clocked the commitment. I hadn't clocked. I obviously knew that from the course, and I could feel that on a Friday, what happened on a Friday, I obviously knew that my body really liked it because it was responding really positively. And then things happened. Then, you know, later on in the year, I took the teacher training as well, because I really enjoyed it, and I knew this is good, and I had some really great results with the people that I shared it with, you know. But then I think it's human nature that it's not until your back is really truly against the wall that you start to take your own medicine seriously. And I can really say today that laughter, when you take it seriously and you commit it, that helped me.
Just banging, boom, boom.
Banging.
You're banging.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. It's all good. You'll hear that throughout so far. So every time Heidi bangs, she's going to donate €1 to my charity of choice.
No, but really, so it's not until you really are, you know, maybe your back is up against the wall, because we will always take the easy route out until we have no other option. So kind of a long story short, it wasn't until 2014, halfway through, that I kind of had to take it really serious. By that time, I had actually quit my job. I had to quit because I just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't. And then I had to take a good hard look at myself and go, you have to do something about it, because the chatter, I mean, that was just becoming a new normal, which isn't very nice. And that's when I committed every single day. I did the laughter, I did the breathing, and it probably took half an hour, 40 minutes every day. And come 5-6 weeks, things just shifted like that, shifted. And that's what I want to say. I can truly say that I laughed my way out of stress. I can promise you that. I really can. And people go, oh, yes, you can't document whatever. But I know, and I know what I did. I wouldn't necessarily recommend to do it's a hard route to go use 2.5-3 years. Yeah. But I can truly say it is, I'm so eternally grateful for the person who put that up on the website, and so I could go and find it and go on the course. Seriously, it changes life. It
does change. You're right. It's you know, I remember personally when I first, well, it wasn't when I first discovered it, but it was when I needed it probably the most. Was we owed quite a lot of money with our business, and the people that we owed wanted their money. You know, they wanted their money back, and we were down in Croyd. I was in the sand dunes, and I was just watching Dr. Kataria's videos, and I was just playing along with it and just laughing along, because actually my headspace right then was in a dark place. And if it wasn't, I'm not saying if it wasn't for those things, but certainly they helped me right then to reframe everything. And it's you know, and it's tough, Heidi, to laugh every day. It is tough. It's like,
I mean, I want to say, I mean, that's why it's kind of like we avoid it, because number one, it's kind of like it's not the norm, is it? It's kind of like, what are you doing? You're just standing up, sitting down, whatever, laughing. You know, no one's told a joke, no one's whatever. You know, you're just laughing. You know, I have been called weird sometimes. You know, but you know, seriously, I know what I know and you know it, okay? And I think, the other people that you've had on here, and we know, you and I together, we know loads of people and they have similar stories. But it's not until, again, that your back's up against the wall that you will start maybe looking at other things that you can't find elsewhere that will help you.
Yeah.
You really can't. And we know the benefits, yeah. So the release of endorphins, the natural breathing. Because when we learn, and that's how you have to learn, yes, you can stand up and just laugh, but the chances are that you're doing it wrong, especially if you are stressed, is very high. That's why you have to learn, okay? Um, and all the benefits that come from that is phenomenal. And there is, a good scientific reason for that, for people that want to go down that route. But I always say to people, just try it. Just come and try, like on the Daily Giggle Channel, whatever. It's very easy. There's so much there available for free, really, which is silly in one sense. But, But
so how would you say laughter's enhanced your life then?
I would say that it because I'm one of these people that I can get quite caught up in emotions. I can get quite caught up in thoughts. So for me, it's a way of balancing that out and raising my my positivity, really. So that I'm a nicer person to be with. No, I mean, seriously, it really does. Because I wouldn't say I'm natural, like, just like that. I'm not.
Yeah. But then you use laughter to change your physique and your outlook and everything.
And it happens. So what I love about it, because I also do qigong. I'm a qigong shifu instructor, and I learned that afterwards. And what I will say is that laughter, it happens so fast. I mean, and the qigong, I would say that's really good. It's a flowy thing, and you would say laughter probably is as well too. But laughter is just really, really good. I always so Kataria, who's the founder of Laughter Yoga, which we're both trained. He describes it as internal jogging, and I can only say yes, because for me it felt like when you're really stressed, your body's pumped with adrenaline, but the problem is you're not running anywhere physically, so you can't use it up, and that's when you get all the damage, like you lose your memory and all these things that happened to me. So you get all these adverse effects. But what happens is that when you start laughing, the hormones will start to balance out, and it happens really, really fast. And also because you do the better breathing, you tap into the vagus nerve and all these things, and it happens really fast. It really does. So I always felt that when I was laughing, I was running alongside. Yeah, so I'm running alongside at that pace that my body was feeling it was running. And then it would sort of take over and take charge and then bring it down. And that's really what I feel laughter does when you're feeling very stressed, for example. When you're just laughing, I feel that it just raises your energy levels. It raises your heart energy. I mean, and that's what I found is that when you do it every single day, your heart energy, it raises that big time. You are better able to communicate to heart with another person. And you just kind of radiant out from it, and people will notice. I mean, people will come to me and say, Heidi, what happened to you? And I'll go, I'm just laughing every day. No, but seriously, it really does. It comes from the inside. It's an inside out job. It really is.
So I remember we've spoken in the past about laughter clubs, and you mentioned that you were like one of the you've got one of the biggest in the UK, was it, or something?
I think I was one of the first ones who did it every single week for a very long time.
Nice. And what so obviously you, over the years when you were doing the laughter classes, and you must have some memories of certain people that have come. So what this is the perfect point to share one or two memories. You don't have to mention names, but just things that stuck in your mind where someone came up to you and said something that you went, right, okay, that's magical. a quick interlude for you. I hope you're enjoying today's interview and getting lots of knowledge when it comes to laughter and laughter yoga. Now, if you want to find out more about how laughter can benefit your life, why not subscribe to my channel below and press that little notification bell and get a notification anytime a new video comes out. Now, on with the interview.
I have two or three, but the first one that really stuck out, which was unfortunately he's no longer with us. He almost celebrated his 100th birthday, Robert, and he said to me, hi, because he used to be like in the military, a sailor, and he was, he would walk, he would only have like a stick, and he would be like really fresh, and you wouldn't believe he was 99 or 98 when I first started knowing him. And he said to me, he said, oh, hi, and he would have seen, he'd seen a lot of things, yeah. And what he said to me, Heidi, you know what, sometimes you meet, a person, and you just know that person, is something special. You just connect. And he said, you're that person for me. And you just know. And he said, you're the girl in my last port or something, but he meant it. He had a twinkle in his eye. He was a real gentleman. He was really, really nice, but he got it. He absolutely got it, because we would sit in a circle, and I would get them to hold hands and touch, you don't get them in. And of course, you're not going to get this like roars laughter like when we do it, because they are like quite elderly, and some of them frail. Some of them got Alzheimer's and other things. But just when hearing it goes in and it connects, and we would do, some of the singing songs and some kind of, the miming, and you do the storytelling with the laughter, and it just get the memories going. And the touch, and then the smile and the gentle laughter, it gets them to release, because laughter, like tears, crying, is catharsis. And he knew that, and often he would just cry, and he said, Heidi, I've experienced so many things that are not good. And I said, I know, Robert, but it would be and I said, but we are here in the circle, and this is the safe space. This is the safe space. Okay. And they really, at first they didn't get it. But after, I would say, a month or two, they really got it, and they were like queuing up and wanting to come. So that was Robert. And then I had another lady, I won't mention her name because I know she's quite private, but she was sort of a type of nurse, and she had a really, really hard time, very stressful job, and had to quit her job really after many, many years in her profession. And I had been to that hospital to do some, introduction to laughter, some of their staff days or whatever. And the HR lady, obviously I'd spoken to her, and she said to this, it just so happens that they didn't know, this person who then became part of my laughter club, she saw us do the laughter at an event, and she said, I just want to do that. And she then asked, and she loved it so much, and she knew instantly that would really help her. And she said to the lady, the HR lady, she said, I really want to do this, do you think, can I have sort of the time off officially? And she said, oh, I know that. I've spoken to Heidi, and I really, really think that you should go and do that. That would be so good for you. And it changed her life. It really did. I've loads of stories.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. So what would you, because again, it's the objection that people like, and maybe not the people listening. I think people are starting to get it, but there's people out there that just look at it and they just go, nah, that is just completely wacky, or it's quite hippie. It's completely out there. But we all know, especially now, and if you're listening to this, we're in the UK, we're in second lockdown, we're still in COVID, in 2020. Like, people need to laugh right now. Like, people need to laugh. What would you say to anyone listening, like, if they are a bit sort of still sat on the fence? What would you say to them?
I always just say that laughter is just breath with a sound. Okay, so all you do is take a deep breath into your belly, and then you just breathe out, and you put like a vocal sound to it. And it is just, that's all it is. And you don't have to sing. You can just go, and if you can do that, then you know, that's why I'm a, you know, you and I, you know, we are, you know, leaders, instructors, trainers in it, because we will get you over it. Because what will happen is 5-7 seconds, that's the normal laughter, you know, and you see something funny and then you're gonna go, then you stop. So we will help you get over the 5-7 seconds, okay? Because that's quite normal. And that's what we do. But who doesn't remember, you know, when they were a child or a young person, someone said to me, like, they were a teenage girl, and, you know, you would just be giggling with your friend for no reason, you know, and you couldn't remember, and it was just the funniest. Who don't want to connect back into that?
Exactly.
Especially, I mean, seriously now, I also just can briefly say, and I'm going to say it now, I'm going to own it, because it can be a little bit like, oh, is this spiritual or whatever? And I don't know if it is. I believe now that we are spiritual creatures as well. You know, it's not some kind of you know, it's part of us. You know, we have a spirit inside us. And before that, I was a corporate person. And I kind of just thought, oh, well, there's body and there's mind, but maybe there's nothing else. Well, I will say that with laughter, some other things happened as well. I wouldn't say that that's going to happen to everyone, but I think there's a number of other people that have similar, because what happened is that you're connecting so much into your heart, and you're connecting so much in up here and other things, that things will just kind of open up. And that's what happens when you clear the space, you clear some of the connections, you clear your energy, yeah. So then you will feel more open, yeah. You feel more open and free. And I will just say that, especially these times, and the people that are maybe and I don't know a lot about it, but some people are very much into knowing all the ascension and stuff that goes on right now. I just want to say, if you don't know how, I think you should join some laughter.
Yeah.
Because it will raise your vibration, and it will happen so fast. It really does. Seriously.
So Heidi, this is a perfect opportunity then. So I always ask my laughter professionals, as I like to call ourselves, to run two of your favorite laughing exercises with me and the listeners.
Okay, so I wrote something down. I do want to just to get us into it. We kind of know it, but we actually called it the Angel of the North. That we rebranded it, you know, in my laughter club, and the girls are actually still going, even though I'm no longer there. They still meet. I'm so proud. Mm-hmm. They still meet every Friday at 10 o'clock, but in someone's house. Obviously not here during COVID, but you know, they still meet. So I'm so proud. But we did this one. So you just take a breath in, and then Angel of the North, or I like to call it confident laughter, and you just open up and you go. And then we'll do another one. You breathe in. And then you're doing a receiving laughter. And a third time. And you're doing a giving laughter. And then, because it's very, very soon, that special festive time of the year, we're going to do the Christmas cracker. And it always used to crack us up, because it's the version of the 1 meter laughter. So you can hold it with me, Pete, okay? And then we're going to take a breath in. And then we're going to pull the cracker. Very good. Very good.
Yay! Let's do the cracker again. One more cracker, I reckon.
Very funny.
Deep breath in. And I've swiped that one. I've swiped that one for my
Yeah, I think you should. It's
Christmas
really fun.
panto show. So okay,
Yeah.
so apart from sort of laughing and I mean, do you have any other positive daily habits that you do on a daily basis?
Yes, because I'm one of these people. I really have to remind myself all the time, because otherwise I'll slip very easily into my old bad habits. Since the laughter, and I really started to understand what sound, and particularly when it's your own sound, how that vibration, that frequency, how good that is for your health. I became very interested in other things like to do with like energy medicine, energy work. So I then obviously became a Qigong instructor, and I'm also doing medical sound Qigong, that goes really well with the laughter. But I actually do, before I get out of bed, I actually do some Meridian cleansing and Meridian optimizing things, and that's great. That actually is a great way, because then you even start it before you get out of bed. And sometimes if I'm not laughing on the daily giggle channel because of work and other stuff, I will either also laugh in my bed before I get out of bed, because it's such a great way, because then you already started the day in a positive way, or in the car going home, or that works really well. Yeah.
Nice. So talk to me a little bit about the Meridian thing. I should have listened.
It is just, and I don't know all the meridians, because I'm not acupuncture trained, but I know some of the stuff. So it is just basically like, I really like this one. So this is a great one right now for the thymus, and it also runs here, and then that is brilliant for the T cells, and when we laugh, it also is really good for the boosting of the T cells, which are the ones that mop up all the bad stuff in our body. So, but you do the Tarzan one. So that's also a Qigong warm up, or Qigong kind of tapping thing. So you just, gently, obviously if you have a pacemaker, you don't do it. But you just gently tap, and it is a natural thing. So when you stand, where you just bend, where your hand naturally falls, that's the right place. And you just gently tap. So then it's really easy to add laughter to that if you want. Yeah, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the ones. Then you have some long points here. That's also really good.
That's just below your collarbone.
Yeah, collarbone, just underneath the collarbone. You have a little, you can feel a little dent.
Yeah.
Just underneath here.
Yeah.
And then, that's good for the lungs. That's a long point. So, that's easy to use as well when you laugh. So there are some different things I think you can add to it, and then there's some other things as well, but or tapping all over your head, because all your meridians, all the energy lines, they all meet up here, and so you tap here, and you will really touch a lot of them. So
nice.
So there's some different kind of that I do, and it feels really great. They have some great benefits too. So
just waking your body, waking it up, isn't it, and waking
it up, and also very much around. I think what is most important is for it to flow, because if we get afraid, mainly if we get afraid or angst or anything like that, and that happens really easily. And I know myself, during a day, when you hear the news and everything that's going on at the moment, we get constantly bombarded, okay? And words, it all carries a vibration, okay? So if it's a vibration, I would say that's lower than you feel, 5, then it's not good for you.
Yeah.
So then you need to transform it. You need to get rid of it. So doing this kind of energy work and the laughter and this, it just helps, loosening things up so things can flow, so your body can naturally process things and get rid of it. Okay, it's really important.
Amazing. So Heidi, so before I go to the final thought, I mean, where can listeners find you if they want to reach out and sort of get to know you a bit more?
Yeah. The best way at the moment, I'm not that set up yet, but the best way to find me is on Facebook for the time being. I know Facebook is changing all the time, but right now it's Facebook. It's I think I put fill your day with laughter. But I think when you do the at thing, I think you have to do inner joy, facilitate inner joy. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the link anyway, so I'll put it in the notes.
Or just my name, Heidi Feldborg. That's me. But
perfect.
That's the way you can reach me, and then I'll from time to time I'll do stuff. That's another thing is that I haven't kind of picked things up as much in Denmark. I'm mainly doing it for myself, but I really want to pick things up a bit more because it's not that advanced in Denmark anymore. So I think we need to get the good word out. But I don't want to limit myself. Most people in Denmark also speak English, so we can I think we're becoming more multicultural, multinational. I think the world will be very different in a few years' time.
Definitely. So final thought then, Heidi, what 3 things bring you joy?
Laughter, obviously. I like laughing because I just feel the best version of myself. My daughter, obviously, it really brings me joy. She really does. And meeting new people. Seriously, meeting new people and hearing their stories. I love that. That ticks my boxes.
Fantastic. Well, Heidi, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. That's fab.
It's my pleasure. And you mentioned the Daily Giggle channel a few times. That's obviously how we met. It's still going daily. And I'm sure we'll laugh we're like 8 o'clock every morning. That's probably the best one to jump on. 10 minutes, all laughing, no talking, fun and games. We'll go to the zoo, we'll play instruments, we'll do whatever, but we just set the day up in a nice place, and amazing.
It's great. It really is.
Thank you again, Heidi. Take care.
Thank you, Pete. Take care. Have a good evening.